Hey, what's going on, Set Apart Gardens family, man? Peace and blessings to everybody. I hope y'all doing good, man. I know it's been a while, but I'm back and I'm better than ever. You know, we just had our child, our fourth child. You know, I'll praise to the Most High for that. Healthy birth, at-home birth, you know what I mean? No complications. So we just praise the Most High for that. Look at that garden, y'all. It's looking so beautiful. You know, we got some ripe tomatoes on there. Maybe I'll show y'all that a little later. But anyways, I'm just coming to y'all with a word that I got, you know, just basically what I've been thinking and just pondering on, you know, especially in this time that we're in. Let me get in some shade, see if y'all can see me better. Sit in my rocking chair. But especially in the times that we in, you know, with this election season and just with a whole bunch of political things going on, and I do want to say rest in peace to the sister that just got gunned down by that police officer up in, I want to say Illinois, Chicago area, somewhere around there. You know, but the Most High, he will take vengeance, you know what I mean? But we also seek for justice as well. So I want to say rest in peace to that sister. But anyways, you know, just in this time, in this election season, and in a lot of this political climate culture, you know, and just everything that's going on in the world, this social media age and just everything, everybody got opinions. It's a lot of strife, a lot of debate, a lot of manipulation, a lot of fear mongering, and a lot of that different type of stuff. But I just want to remind y'all what the Messiah tells us, right? And he tells us, well, what he told his disciples as he was sending them out. He said, I want you to be as wise as serpents and as harmless as doves. And I feel like that is something that we must adopt, you know, especially when we're, you know, traversing the climate in this society today, you know, especially in America, you know, but in the world as well, because it's a lot of crazy things going on all over the world, you know. So if you're listening from a different country, you know, this applies to you as well. The Messiah tells us to be as wise as serpents and harmless as doves. And let's break that down, right? Because you know, a lot of times we look at the serpent and its cunning nature, you know, and its craftiness as evil, which the way the enemy goes about, you know, the serpent goes about doing his deeds, they are wicked, because he's cunning and crafty for the sake of doing evil works, for the sake of tripping people up, for the sake of setting traps and snares for people, right? So that is evil, but it's not evil to have the same cunningness and craftiness, but to be harmless while you're doing it, right? So what I mean is this: when we see, you know, a lot of the different, you know, tactics that is used to get us, you know, in fear, or to get us to support this political party or that political party, and we're not gonna go into specifics, because I don't talk about politics on my channel. I don't talk about politics with nobody outside of my household. You see what I'm saying? Because that's nobody's business, and I wish we can go back to the era where that's how it was, you know, properly done. You don't speak on politics, you know, with people as far as outside of your household or your close family, close friends, and we don't speak about religion as far as to debate and all of these different type of things, right? Now, there's nothing wrong with, you know, talking about what you believe in and your faith and stuff like that, but as far as, you know, a lot of the debates and different things like that, I'm just not into it. You see what I'm saying? So I like to keep my politics and my views as far as if I'm going to vote, who I'm going to vote for, and all that type of stuff, which I don't really get into the voting unless it's, you know, for local different things like that. But that's not to say I won't ever exercise my right, but that's my choice and that's my business, right? So I just had to give that disclaimer, because we're not going to talk about the right or the left. We're not going to talk about that. We're not going to get into who's the better candidate and lesser of two evils. We're not going to get into that. But what we are going to get into is noticing the tactics that the enemies, or plural, the enemies are trying to play. You see what I'm saying? Because especially, and I'm speaking towards, you know, my melanated people right now, especially us as black people, African Americans, or even those on the African continent that, you know, have went through colonization and different things like that. We understand the propaganda that has been put forth in front of us, right? In order to make us choose our oppression. And what I'm trying to tell you is that let's be wise when it comes to this thing, and traversing and navigating in this season of, election time and the different politics that goes in it, because a lot of people take it serious, and a lot of people are going to be trying to pressure you to view things how they view things, and try to pressure you to go their way. And what I'm telling you is, don't go their way. Go the way that the Most High tells you to go, right? Because at the end of the day, no man or woman is going to save us. No man or woman is going to buy us, redeem us. Only the Most High will redeem us from our current state, right? Now, that's not to say that we can't exercise our right and vote for who we think is the best candidate to fill a position. That's not saying that. But what I'm saying is, when you put so much emphasis on that person like they are a messiah, that becomes idolatry. That becomes basically that becomes abominable before the Most High, because you're serving another God before him. You're serving a Democrat party or a Republican party or whatever political party you align with. You could put too much emphasis on that, and a lot of people do that. Like, oh my God, this gonna make or break you. If you don't do this, if you don't vote right now, it's gonna make or break you. And oh man, all this fear mongering when the Most High is in charge, right? I be wanting to tell people when they try to stress, oh, you need to do this, we need to do that, because our very life depends on it. Every 4 years, our life depends on it. But it seems like after those 4 years, people don't have that same energy when it comes to saving our people. You see what I'm saying? Don't you notice the game? Notice the game. Understand the game. Understand that this is all a scheme and a tactic that is employed to get your energy, to sap your energy, to sap your spiritual essence, and to invest in their cause. Our spiritual essence, our spiritual power should be invested in the cause of the Most High only. You see what I'm saying? And so we get so far away from that. So what I'm telling you is, in this time, in this season, be as wise as a serpent. Be as cunning, be as crafty. Know the ways of the serpent, how the serpent moves, the ways that the serpent puts up snares and traps and different things like that. Adopt that same nature, right? Because there's nothing wrong with being crafty. There's nothing wrong with being cunning and moving. It's called wisdom and moving wisely. Understanding, up, trap right there, up, propaganda, up, manipulation, up, this, up, you know, and you're able to recognize the tactics of the enemy, and you're able to evade them. You're able to, you know, sidestep and maneuver around. You see what I'm saying? And that allows you to not be trapped and to be manipulated into doing something that you don't want to do, being gaslighted into something that, you know, you're not fully convinced of and you fully believe in, but they believe in it and they want you to believe in it, so they want your energy to go towards it for their cause, while you get nothing out of it. Like, we've never got anything out of all these times we've supported this cause or voted for that cause, and, you know, put our energy behind this and not and behind that. What do we get as far as tangibles? We don't ever get anything, right? It seems like we're married to an abuser that every 4 years they come and they tell us, hey, you know, we're gonna promise you this, we're gonna promise you that, we're gonna do this, but when it's time for action to be done, nothing is done. But everybody else gets tangibles. Everybody else gets things, right? And while we're left with just symbolism, oh, well, we appointed the first black this or the first black that. Okay, that's symbolism, but how are black people benefiting as a whole from this? We're not. We're being fed a dream. We're being strung along, right? And we're being manipulated, and we're not seeing the true intent. But when we let go of those foolish ways, and when we adopt the ways of wisdom, and we're as wise as a serpent, and because these people are serpents, right? From a perspective of all politicians, all of these people are serpents, right? And when we understand the tactics of the serpent and how they move, then we say, okay, well, we're gonna move this like this, but we're gonna be harmless while we do it. We're not going to employ our cunningness for evil, but for good, right? And when I say harmless, I'm not talking about not defending yourself and turning the other cheek and all. I'm not talking about that, because see, there's a time and a season for everything, right? It's a time to die, it's a time to kill, it's a time to defend yourself, it's a time to hold your peace, You see what I'm saying? So let's not make no mistake as far as that. When I say harmless, I'm not talking about being, you know, just basically letting people do what they want to do and abuse you. No, that's not what I'm talking about. But what I'm saying is harmless as far as we don't have malice in our heart when we're navigating things wisely, and we're not trying to set traps for the enemy because they're setting traps for us. We're just evading the traps, and we're going about about how we move, how the Most High wants us to move. That's what we do. But we don't sit here and repay evil for evil. You see what I'm saying? We don't do that, because then we're gonna be at fault for our evil and our wickedness and our bad heart. No, let's recognize the ways of the serpent and let's move accordingly. But let's not have evil intent in how we move, but let our intent be righteous, because when you hold your peace, the Most High will give vengeance. The Most High will handle things. You see what I'm saying? Because the Most High controls all. And when you try to be cunning and you try to play tit for tat with the enemy, what you're doing is you're saying, what Most High, I don't agree to your power. I don't yield to your power and your will, but I want to employ my own will. And that's why I say it becomes wickedness when you try to do that. No, let's not do that. Let's be wise in seeing everything, being vigilant, reading, researching, all of these things, you know, not being emotional, because our people are so emotional when it comes to these things, to the point to where they'll sit here and they'll say how you're not tolerant, but when you express your viewpoints, they're not tolerant with your viewpoints because you don't agree with what they agree with. So they call you all sort of names, like it's hypocritical. You're saying you're tolerant, but you're not tolerant to my viewpoint because it differs from yours. But I digress on that point. But what I'm trying to say, you know, before I let y'all go is, man, just be wise. Don't be manipulated. Don't be scared into doing something, because fear doesn't bring anything good. You see what I'm saying? Even when you're in the midst of a storm, if you're in the eye of the hurricane, the most calmest part, you need to remain calm. You don't need to fear and panic, because panic and fear will make the situation worse than what it is. And when people try to scare you into doing something, you should look at that person or those people with a side eye and ask yourself, why are they trying to scare me into doing this? Why are they trying to manipulate me into doing this and make it so urgent? Why are they trying to do that? It's because they're employing the highest form of witchcraft, manipulation, propaganda to try to get your spiritual energy to align with their cause, so they can have more power and they can achieve their goals while they give you nothing in return. So don't panic in this time. Please don't. It's not wise to. It's never wise to panic. It's never wise to panic. It's all I don't care what situation you get in. Calm yourself down, think, strategize. You see what I'm saying? Think before you move. That's why, you know, I often allude to playing the game of chess, you know, because I'm an avid chess player. You know what I mean? I've probably been playing chess for about a year, not that long, but you know, I've been playing chess for probably about a year, and it has taught me so many life lessons. But one of the main things, you know, as far as related to what we're talking about right now, it has taught me how to think before I move. Don't just move. Don't just make an idle movement. No, make sure every move has thought behind it, and you won't go wrong, because at the end of the day, the Most High knows the end from the beginning, and he already knows what's going to happen, right? So when you're walking after him, you will be all right regardless. You don't have to be scared by these people. You don't. Be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. Don't repay evil for evil, but understand the ways of the enemy. The same way your enemy studies you, study your enemy, so you can know how to evade your enemy and you can know how to maneuver around your enemy. You see what I'm saying? And with that, we'll be good, family. But I'm just encouraging you in this time, because you know how I get every 4 years and people start getting crazy all of a sudden, and we don't do that. You see what I'm saying? That's why I say we not gonna talk about politics. So whenever you jump in these comments, don't be talking about this presidential candidate or that presidential candidate or this party or that party. We're not doing that. We not doing, because we all know what's truly going on, but we not gonna We're not gonna sit up here and do these debates and different things like that. We're gonna respect everybody's viewpoint, right? Because we can agree to disagree respectfully. We're gonna respect everybody's view. We're gonna be tolerant, right? We're gonna show what it means to be tolerant as far as respecting people's view even when it doesn't align with yours. And understanding, hey, we can still have a mutual respect even though I disagree with you. We can do that. That's called wisdom. You see what I'm saying? Because everybody is not going to align with how you view things. That's not going to be in the world. And when you try to get people forcefully to do that, then that becomes a dictatorship. That becomes forceful. And always remember, a man convinced against his own will is of the same opinion still. I forget what book that comes from. But a man convinced against his will is of his own opinion still. So although he might be going along, or she might be going along with what you're saying, in the back of their mind, they still of their same opinion. So when it comes to any time they can undercut you and undermine you, they will do that because they're still of their own opinion. That's why it doesn't pay to try to force people and manipulate people into doing what you want them to do, because at the end of the day, the human will, the willpower of a human, of man, is powerful. You see what I'm saying? And so we don't want to try to manipulate people. But that's all I wanted to say, family. Be wise as serpents, harmless as doves, and get back to the land, man. Get your true power back. Get your true power, right? They try to convince you that your power is in a political system that's rigged. No, your power is what you can do for yourself and your family in the event that this all goes to hell. You see what I'm saying? So with that, man, let me get back. Man, I'm on the clock right now, but I want to bring y'all that quick message, man. And like I say, like I always like to say, if you give somebody the power to feed you, you're giving the power to starve you. Also, man, we got videos coming, man. We got a lot of good stuff coming, a lot of good content, man. Please tune in if y'all can. We appreciate y'all. Please share the platform with those who've never seen the video. Just share your favorite video with somebody, man, that you know, as far as from the Set Apart Gardens family, man. But we appreciate y'all. We're trying to grow our impact. We trying to spread our message, man. So we appreciate y'all, and I'm gonna let y'all get back to it. All right, shalom, peace.
Bombs over Baghdad really ain't that bad. Little wiretap, yes, yes. Little dodge in the IRS. Little haven from the tax man.